All right, welcome back, everyone. So a couple things to go over. Actually, I have a ton to go over tonight. So number one, Tuesday nights for now, okay? I'm not sure what you guys think, but my son and I, we love to fish. Notice the Bass Pro hat. We fish a lot of fishing tournaments. We actually competitively fish, and it's kind of cool. My son and I do it together, and Monday nights is one of the big nights. So just an FYI, these YouTube lives for the summer, so basically until about Labor Day, we're going to do them Tuesday nights. Now, I would prefer to do Monday nights because what we're trying to do tonight is break down the watch list, go over the watch list from Sunday, and then, kind of develop a plan for the week. But I'm always here for you guys. I love all you, but I also love my son. I love to fish. So Monday nights are off for now. So keep in mind, for the summer until about Labor Day, it will be Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So, let's get to work. I've got a lot to go over tonight, a lot to break you guys on, a lot of watch list stocks that freaking crushed it. Woo, yeah. So let's get to the screen share and let's get to work. Here we go. So, when it comes to announcements, oh crap, actually, I'm going to stop. I want to jump back because I actually want to talk about a few things. I always want to kind of give you, all of you, resources, ideas, stuff that I find valuable. So, I'm going to touch on these later, but I think most of you know I'm a big reader. I love to read, and I love to read about finance and trading, etc. So a couple resources from tonight. Transforming Wall Street. This is a book by Kim Ann Curtin. So I'm going to touch on this later, but she was on the podcast, I think, 2 weeks ago. Amazing. I always say this podcast is my favorite. This podcast is my favorite. But I really, really, really think this podcast with Kim Ann was my favorite. Now, I have not started this book yet because I always have a stack like 15 feet high of books to read. But I'm going to start it soon. And I just wanted to give you that resource. Check out that podcast, SteadyTrade.com with Kim Ann Curtin. She's got a wild story, and she has talked to, interviewed, and worked with some of the best, most amazing traders out there. So, Transforming Wall Street by Kim Ann Curtin. The other one, and man, this has me giddy, like giddy like a schoolgirl. Jim Rogers is coming on the podcast in, I think, 2 weeks. And if you don't know Jim Rogers, Google him, check him out. I mean, if there is, I joke on my social media a lot about man crush. I have a huge man crush on Jocko Willink, Dave Goggins, Joe Rogan, The Rock. Okay, there's a lot of these dudes that I have huge man crushes on. But when it comes to trading, who is my number one man crush out there? It's Jim Rogers. And this is my favorite book so far. Now, I'm going to read his others. I've ordered them. They're on my Kindle. But this dude, I mean, read Street Smarts by Jim Rogers. Read this freaking book. I mean, this dude is as legit as they get. Billionaire. I mean, that's what's wild about what we've managed to accomplish with the podcast is whether it be trading or a side hustle or your job, I mean, anything you do, show up every day, put in the work, grind, grind, grind. And at the beginning, there's going to be no rewards, okay? It's going to suck. You're going to be like, why am I doing this? Why do I show up every day to do this? And then a year and a half later, you book. I struggle to use the word hero. And Jim, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. But I mean, idol might, if I had to pick a hero, probably be The Rock. But idol in trading, it's this guy. And 10 days from now, he's on the podcast. And this is one of my favorite books. I talked about it the other day. I've got a huge bookshelf over there, and I give away a lot of books. Once I read them once, I give them away. This book is 6 years old. It's still on the shelf, okay? Because every time I think about giving it away, donating it to the library, I'm like, no, I'm keeping it. So those are your resources for tonight. Transforming Wall Street by Kim Ann Curtin. Street Smarts by Jim Rogers. And I feel like a kid, like an 8-year-old kid waiting for Christmas. It's like 10 days till Christmas. 10 days till Christmas. So 10 days till the interview with Jim Rogers. So those are the resources for tonight. Let's jump back to the screen share. Present to everyone. And here we go. So other things I want to talk about. Everything we're going to go over tonight, ticker-wise, is on the watch list. And it was in your inbox Sunday, okay? So your homework for these sessions is to read the watch list and be prepared to ask questions about the stocks on the watch list, okay? The classic analogy is you can sit there and give a man a fish, but if you teach him to fish, then he can feed himself forever, okay? What I want to do tonight, what I want to do in every one of these is to teach you guys the skills to catch your own fish, doubling back to the introduction where I talked about fishing with my son. Okay, so subscribe to StocksToTrade.com/watch list. Every stock we talk about tonight was on that list. And I got to actually launch my platform. So subscribe to that. That's your homework, okay? If you show up here, listen, I'll talk about any stock. I love talking all stocks, any setup, high price, low price, long, short, but really subscribe to the watch list, show up prepared, and I want to talk about those stocks. That's the agenda on most nights. Next thing is, this is not up to date, but go to StocksToTrade.com/free-webinar, and I will be doing a free in-depth webinar in July, okay? The date isn't picked yet. They're actually cutting me some slack. I've been doing twice monthly webinars. They allowed me to do one a month. I think they felt bad for the old man. So, but if you sign up, go to StocksTrade.com/free-webinar, drop your name in, drop your email. You will be notified when I do the next one. I get a lot of DMs about people are like, hey, when's the next webinar? When's the next webinar? Go there. You will know. Next, check out StocksToTrade.com/pro. Why is my mouth always open in every single video? Every video, every still, every screen cap, my mouth is open. But anyway, I love to talk stocks. So go to StocksToTrade.com/pro. You can join the Twice Daily webinars I do every day, every single day. I I did yesterday was Monday. Yep, 3 webinars yesterday, 3 today, 1 tomorrow because I'm traveling to the next event, but I'm there every day on time, ready to rock to talk about stocks. So why am I only doing 1 webinar tomorrow? I will be at the Benzinga Trading Summit on Thursday. I know it's kind of short notice, but if you can be there, if you're around New York, would love to see you, would love to meet you. Okay. So Benzinga Trading Summit. It is Times Square Thursday morning at, I think I open it, second or third. Okay. So Jason Raznick, the CEO of Benzinga, opens it. I've got a Chris Camilo in front of me, but then at 9:15 a.m., I'm there giving a quick talk. I mean, it's rapid fire. I think it's pretty cool what they're trying to do. And this is all for charity. That's the beauty of it. Okay. So if you are near New York, Times Square specifically, and you can be there Thursday morning, would love to meet you. I mean, I love all the comments. I love all you guys showing up in the chat. If you can be there, I'm going to give a 10-minute talk at 9 a.m., and then I'm just hanging out, okay? So if any of you are in or around Times Square Thursday morning, show up, man, and would love to see you. Or you can hang out. I mean, Mike Bellafor, huge fan of Bella. Everyone calls him Bella at SMB Capital. Bunch of great speakers. JJ Killahan, Nate is a good friend of mine. Sang Lucci is a good friend of mine. It's exciting. Good one-day, fast-paced event. Peter Schiff. I mean, there's some big names. I mean, Peter Schiff's as far as I know, he's a billionaire. So if you can be there, show up. Would love to meet you. John Nigerian, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Next, and I know I'm laying a lot on you, but next month, Tim Sykes and I will be in Chicago for the Traders Expo. This is a great event, free, okay? You can just show up. You can see all these speakers. You can meet me and Tim. I mean, Tim and I think we got the keynote, baby. If you know Tim Sykes like I do, I love him. I love him like a brother, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't go unless we got the keynote, which I love him. So we are there, I believe. Oh, yeah. Last night of the event, closing it out. So if you're in or around Chicago in a month, July 22nd, Tim and I are speaking a lot, but they let us shut down the event. Lights out, baby. So show up to that. And then last announcement is Steady Trade Podcast. I mean, I know I'm talking about a lot of stuff tonight, but you know, what I love about what I do is I really, really, really try and give back to all of you, okay? I do 15 webinars a week in Stocks and Trade Pro. I do one podcast a week. Typically, we do a twist of This Week in Steady Trade. I really want to give back to you guys, and I'm here at this YouTube Live. Must watch webinar or podcast or listen on iTunes. The one with Kim Ann Curtin, I already talked about. She is, I mean, is it socially acceptable to call a woman a badass? If it's socially acceptable to call a woman a badass, Kim Ann Curtin is that. Did another one last week with Sean Deckmar. Sean, I mean, would love. I haven't met him in person, but man, this kid, he reminded me of Jack Kellogg. The mindset, killer mindset. And then DJ Deeney is this week. DJ Deeney won the paper trading competition from last week. And this guy, again, man, he impressed me going back to Orlando last year. I'm like, man, this guy's got something special. Never really made money. You know, he traded for years and years and years. He's also a DJ. He's also got, I mean, he's a hustler. He does a lot of stuff. And once he entered the paper trading competition, he was like, this is my chance to really take it seriously. And he maximized it. And now he's trading for real and crushing it. Now, Easter egg, even though DJ was on my team, I disagree with him about his trading style. But that's what I like. I mean, this guy's putting in the work. He's profitable. He's crushing it. But a great episode. Check it out. And then the last thing before we get into stocks, and I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but that's why I show up every freaking day and put on webinars, because I want you guys to get better. The simple fact is, my number one goal is for all of you to get better, to grow, to evolve, to realize your dreams and be consistently profitable. Last one is the donut. So it's a fun video. Check it out. It's on Tim Sykes' channel. And, it's 4 minutes long. We had a lot of fun with it. So, but I think I kind of come through with my grinding mindset, and Tim and I mean, I love the guy, but we are polar opposites. There may be no more traders on the planet that are more different in outside of trading. Now, remember, I learned from Tim. We trade very similar stocks. We have a very similar methodology, but outside of trading, I don't know if anybody is more different. He's single. I'm married. He believes in staying up late and getting up late. I believe in going to bed early and getting up early. He makes fun of working out. I think working out is huge. He believes in material possessions. I think material possessions are a waste of time. But anyway, love the guy. He's a big friend. Check out that video. It was a fun one. Let us get to work. So, Coda is the top of the stock watch list. Remember, we're going over the watch list stocks tonight. This one was very interesting because of the close on Friday. Whoops, not 5 years, 5 days. So notice on Friday, let me get the intraday. Or I'm sorry, Thursday. So Thursday, Coda was a quote-unquote earnings winner. But the wild thing about Coda was they make like underwater security devices. So it was an interesting intersection of earnings winner plus potential hot sector plus a 52-week high. Now, I'm going back to, speaking of YouTube, Steady Trade. I talked about this idea on the Steady Trade podcast last Thursday, okay? I talked about why I liked Coda so much, because it was a story stock tied to the tanker bombings, which we still don't know the story. ultimately, I thought it was going to get bad. It kind of shook out and didn't amount to much. But you had an earnings winner with news because of the tanker bombings Thursday morning. And then you got high volume breakout move. And Coda worked out pretty good on Friday. Now, as we talk about this week, what I want you to look at is, this is the 4-day chart back to Thursday. Notice how this stock is consolidating and basing at 14. What I want you to, there's no trade in Coda yet. But what I want you to focus on is, and this was in your email on Sunday night. Look at how this thing just keeps holding 14. Held it on Friday, Monday, and today. And then it went red to green late day. Keep an eye on Coda. These stocks up on earnings, up on news that consolidate and then get ready to break out at key levels, those are trades you should look for. BYND, oh God. BYND is the classic, madness stock, okay? Again, Friday night, I was scanning for stocks, looking at the news, and I'm like, man, BYND spiked early and closed near the high of the day. This could really run on Monday. Monday, it gapped up in pre-market, dipped at the open, and proceeded to go from 170 to 200. Now, I get it. A lot of you guys are penny stock traders, and you might be like, oh, you're talking about $200 stocks. Remember, if you focus on the rule of 10 and you focus on the most volatile high-price stocks, and when I talk about the rule of 10 with BYND, it's more like the rule of 100. But when you find these stocks with crazy volatility, just shift the decimal point. So what we talked about in StocksToTrade Pro this morning, I was like, man, think about this like a $1.70 or a $1.80 stock breaking through 2. How would you trade that? And if you got 10 shares of BYND and you buy it yesterday at 160, 170, and it spikes to 200, do the math in your head. And you're never going to get the perfect entry, and you're never going to get the perfect exit. But what if you had $30 a share or $20 a share on 10 shares? 10 shares of BYND yesterday morning is a $1,600 position. And I get it. I'm not saying you're going to sell at the top. What if you sell at 190? That's $200 profit on a $1,600, $1,700 stock. That's how you grow an account. Now, as we go through the week, I want you to watch that $200 level. Write this down. Write it down. I don't care if you trade it or not. If BYND breaks 200 this week, it will rip faces off. Now, write it down. Come back next Tuesday night, and if BYND hits 201 tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, and it fails, call me out. Feel free. I have no problem being wrong. One of the biggest lessons you need to learn as an aspiring trader is be willing to be wrong. You build your thesis, you build your trade plan, and you stick to it. But I'm telling you, if BYND hits new highs, I'm crazy confident it spikes hard. Call me out next week. Would love to see you. Next one is ARQL. which was very solid yesterday and is setting up late into the week. That's why I want you guys on this watch list, okay? Get on the watch list. These are plays that are in play all week. So ARQL did a week open red to green yesterday. It broke yesterday's highs. So we talked about this in StocksToTrade Pro at 950. I was like, if 950 breaks, this could spike. 950 was Friday's pre-market highs. Now, I'm not saying this was the most amazing trade ever, but look at when it broke 950 in the morning, it ground as high as 1030 later in the day. That's why you look for these key levels. That's why you draw these lines. Look for the points where consolidation occurs and you know that people got to get in or people got to get out. 950 was that level on ARQL. Now it spiked to 1020 after hours, pulled back, but consolidated again. You get another break of highs over 10, over 1050. This stock is going to freaking, if it hits those levels, it's going to bring some pain. Pain. Clubber Lang style. I'm a huge fan of Rocky 3. Maybe my favorite movie ever, other than the John Wick movies. But if ARQL breaks 10-10-50, this is my prediction for the shorts. Whoops.
What's your prediction for the fight, man? Prediction? Yes, prediction. Pain.
That's anybody that shorted ARQL this week. Next, Roku. To be honest, I kind of lost track of Roku. So before I bring up the chart, there's too many stocks in play right now. I don't really know what Roku did. Choppy. Okay. So let's move on. Roku kind of up, down, all over the place. I would watch that 1 year breakout, though. So watch new highs on Roku. We're running out of time. I got to get to bed. 4 a.m. comes early in Michigan. I think 4 a.m. comes early everywhere, but it comes extra early in Michigan where I am. So anyway, Zyop. Ooh. Remember, sign up for the watch list. These were all on there Sunday. Hey, if you're a part-time trader, you want to buy something like Zyop that just slowly grinds higher all day, all week? I will leave you with this, my friends. If you are a part-time trader, if you got a job, if you got a family, if you got school, if you got all of the above, would you like to be in something like Zyop that breaks out at 540 on Monday morning, grinds higher, and literally closes at the high of the day on Tuesday and is set up to continue all week? If you are part-time, if you are new, there may be no better setup than Zyop. I get it. Everybody wants to trade the crazy runners. I do too. The BYNDs, the MGIs. I mean, we have so many stocks that are moving. But if you're part-time, if you're new, and you can get 3, 4, or 5% a day for multiple days, and you don't have to micromanage that stock, would you like to be up 20% on something like Zyop in 5 days with a small account? If I was you, I would want to. So, my friends, I appreciate everyone, and I love these webinars. Lot to go over tonight. I think we got it all in. It's a rapid fire agenda. But if you're in New York City on Thursday, would love to meet you. Would love to see you there. Check out the Steady Trade podcast. I mean, it's free. You can listen to it on the way to work. You can listen to it while you're working at work. Yeah, boss, I'm working. I'm listening to Kim Ann Curtin, DJ Deeney, Sean Deckmar. Yeah, I'm working. But anyway, check out the books. Jim Rogers and Kim Ann Curtin's book. Would love to see you in Chicago next week. Check out StocksToTrade Pro. Keep an eye out. Sign up for the watch list, okay? Next Tuesday night, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be breaking down all these stocks. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. I know I didn't get to any of the comments, and I appreciate them, but I missed last week. There's too much to go over. Love all of you. My number one goal, and I know I go over this a lot, I want you to be successful. I want you to be consistently profitable traders. I want you to realize, what I've realized. I mean, again, I work from home every day. I do what I want when I want. The market is always there. There's unlimited potential opportunity. And, I spend time, I fish with my son. I never missed a day, a sporting event with my daughter. Trading can give you everything you want if you're disciplined, if you put in the time, if you put in the work, and you grind. Okay? It ain't easy, but nothing worth having is. Have a great night, everyone. I know I didn't get to the comments. Tuesday night, next Tuesday will be more comment heavy. Have a great night, and we live in the greatest time in history, my friends.